Good morning, and welcome to Extraordinary Connection. I'm Pastor Matthew Chapman, pastor here at Traverse Bay United Methodist Church, and I am so thankful that you've joined me this morning or this afternoon. I wanted to share an important question that I think a lot of us struggle with, and that's, what is the Bible? Now, we've been discussing this here and there throughout these months of the Extraordinary Connection, and we aren't going to have an answer today. And I'm not even going to answer that whole question. What I'm going to answer or look at or have us ponder is what's in the Bible. And more specifically, at times, what is not. And doing that, I want to compare a couple Bibles. First, New Revised Standard Version, the Wesley Study Bible. It's a great one. You can tell it's been used a lot through thoughtful study. The next one, the HarperCollins New Revised Standard Version Study Bible. This one I had at Michigan State. And this one has, with the apocryphal deuterocanonical books. And then we have the one I often take on visits because it's the smallest. I have the New American Bible, which is a Catholic Bible. Right here, you can see the sign of the imprimatur, so you know it's good stuff. And within these Bibles, there's different books. Because in these two, there is the Apocrypha, or what we call the Deuterocanon, the second canon. What many Protestant Bibles don't have is these books. And there's the Book of Wisdom, the Book of Maccabees, 1 through 4, the Book of Sirach, Susanna, and more. And it's a big debate, or was a big debate, and is more or less settled now that some Bibles have them, some don't, and thus we go. And we in the Protestant tradition, I'm assuming most of you are United Methodists or United Methodist Tangent. And if you're not, welcome. We love that you're here. We don't use these books. But the question is, why not? And I think that's something John Wesley himself looked at, considered. Because John Wesley actually revered some of the apocryphal documents, particularly the Wisdom of Solomon and then Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Wisdom of Ben Sira. And I think where it gets sticky is how we treat the Bible. And so what we use in the United Methodist tradition, the Bible, and then John Wesley's letters, sermons, and then the articles of religion and confessions of faith, these are where we get our doctrine, the rules of the church. But even in ancient times, the ancient biblical scholar Jerome said that these additional books were not to establish any doctrine, but worthy of reading for an example of life and the instruction of manners. And this is the way the Anglican Church, the Church of England, the Episcopalian Church treats it. And we in the Methodist tradition come out of that tradition. And so all of this is going to me reading out of Sirach. And so, friends, I don't want you to think I'm trying to establish any doctrine, but I do think this is worthy of reading for life and instruction, because God can still speak to us through this. And so I'm going to read Sirach 24, verses 1 through 12. Wisdom praises herself and tells of her glory in the midst of her people. In the assembly of the Most High, she opens her mouth, and in the presence of his hosts, she tells of her glory. I came forth from the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth like a mist. I came in the highest heavens, and my throne was a pillar of cloud. Alone I encompassed the vault of heaven and traversed the depths of the abyss. Over waves of the sea, over all the earth, and over every people and nation, I have held sway. Among all of these, I saw a resting place, in whose territory should I abide. Then the Creator of all things gave me a command, and my Creator chose the place for my test. He said, "Make your dwelling in Jacob, and in Israel receive your inheritance. Before the ages, in the beginning, he created me, and for all the ages I shall not cease to be. In the holy tent I ministered before him, and so I established in Zion. Thus, in the beloved city, he gave me a resting place, and in Jerusalem was my domain. I took root in an honored people, and in the portion of the Lord, his heritage." Thus ends the reading. I think this is a beautiful passage. It personifies wisdom in this female form. And so some see this as examples of a female Holy Spirit, but it is God the Creator creates wisdom. Wisdom comes out of God's mouth, and then she goes throughout the world and then establishes herself in the people of Israel. So, friends, do you listen to wisdom? That's the question I have for you. That can we take, on one level, these books, these traditions that we can see John Wesley himself used, not for doctrine, but for instruction, for contemplation, for discussion. And can we use them? Can we allow wisdom, not necessarily just the book of wisdom and the book of the wisdom of Ben Sierra, but the actual wisdom that is breathed out of God? Can we allow that wisdom to work in us and through us? I hope you can. All right. Peace be with you.